Hey, what's happening, y'all? Good morning. It's your boy 3Stacks in this thing. I had a sudden stroke of inspiration to do an update on a deck that I built about 4 months ago, and it was Herald of Perfection Invoked Prediction Princesses. First I did Herald Prediction Princesses, then I updated that. You guys should check that out. I believe it's a month old, my update on Herald Prediction Princesses. Then I did Herald Invoked, and then I had a stroke of inspiration, and I was like, let's do Herald Invoked Prediction Princesses. That worked out successfully. Then I decided to add in like a 3-card Shaddoll engine in the form of 1 Shaddoll Fusion, 1 Hedgehog, and then I think it was like one Falco or Squamata or something like that. Then I updated the deck again. So this deck is catered and focused to trying to summon Herald of Perfection and Calamaties as quick as possible. And if not Herald and Calamaties, either Herald and Mechaba or Herald and Terra Tray. It's just trying to produce powerful boards at the same time making them as free as possible, with all of them having Herald included. So it's just going to be Herald and something. Him alone is too much for your opponent to deal with, but what you want to do is just overkill. So without further ado, we're going to hop right into this main deck. It's 100% original, it's spicy, and the idea was just something that it just dawned on me as I was like fooling around my cards and was like, dude, I need to update this again. And it's a better update, like it's a lot better than the original version. So starting off with monsters, we play 3 copies of Herald of Perfection. Obviously, he is the best monster in the game of Yugioh, regardless of what people say. He really is. Then we play 2 copies of Prediction Princess Terra Tray. She is my second most favorite ritual monster of all time. I love her so much. And then we play 3 of my Princess Katana. Hiya! She's incredibly powerful for so many different reasons. She tutors through your deck, getting you basically any monster that you need. Almost all your monsters are light fairies. Of course, she even searches your Terra Tray. She's just really powerful for so many different reasons. I'm gonna put this one here, just so you can still see Terra Tray. So instead of the standard 6 blue cards that I always run in every single Herald list, I decided to play Terra Tray in addition to that, so 8. And then I did a Herald of Perfection Saphira build as well with just 7 blue cards. But I tend to keep the blue cards at a minimal, even though, you know, some people play like the Cyber Angel build and they play like 10 blue cards, you know. I don't like to play too many ritual monsters because rituals do have the infamous thing where they brick, you know, so much where you draw either too many ritual monsters or the wrong ritual spell. So I just wanted to keep it at a minimum. And I felt that 2 Terra Tray was correct because actually finding myself using 1 Terra Tray to overlay into Calamities with Mechaba all the time. And summoning the second one comes up because you recycle Prediction Ritual back to your deck. You could search it out again with Ritual Sanctuary, Manju, or even Pre-Prep. So it's just, you gotta kind of play 2 just to maximize on that. Then we play 3 copies of my Handy Manny. This guy, obviously, he's a lot more versatile now because he has different options versus just, you know, Herald, Benton, and then Don. Now you're searching Terra Tray and Prediction Ritual as well. Then we also play 2 copies of Mr. Crowley, the infamous 1-card combo. He adds a huge quality to this deck. He revamps the consistency to like basically double its standard because Herald itself is extremely consistent. And then when you have the power of a 1-card combo incorporated into the deck, it's insane. Herald has like 2-card combos. You know, the bare minimum is 2-card combos. But having a 1-card combo is insane because in addition to everything that all the plays that you make, you have a guaranteed no matter what Mechaba, which is pretty insane. Even if your Herald gets outed, it allows you to just distribute boss monsters consistently. In tandem with that, we also play my infamous combo, which is 3 Star Seraph Staff. Scepter is a staff. It's basically a Monarch / King's staff, and it's called a Scepter. Then we also play 3 copies of my Star Seraph Sovereignty, which I call the Throne. And in addition to that, we play 2 copies of Honest and no Barrier Statue this time. I wanted to do the Barrier Statue very badly, but you can't really afford to play Ties of the Brethren in this deck with the playstyle that it has because you're running Invoked now. And you kind of need to commit your normal summon to either Manju, Scepter, or the Alistair. You basically have, those are your 3, 5, 8 normal summons. In technical terms, there are 3 monsters that you want to normal summon in this deck. And like I said, it's either Manju, Scepter, or Alistair. And because Alistair is the most important and valuable normal summon, Ties of the Brethren would not be live all the time. And I wanted this deck to be as consistent as possible. So you play those. Basically, the best normal summons that I could possibly think of. And that definitely sums up the monster count. If you need any explanations, you should definitely just check out more of my in-depth Herald profiles. I've actually done 53 variations. This is variation number 54. And you guys can check out the other 53 builds that I've done on this deck. Every one of the 53 builds I've done are all different from each other. So that basically sums up the monster lineup. Honest is pretty cool too, because you can actually use it on your Mega Buff, so that way you don't have to waste your Alistair pitching from hand. You could keep them for your normal summon to make another fusion if need be so. So Honest is pretty versatile as well with the Invoked engine. And the Star Seraphs are just insane. That's how you break boards, go on second, and just draw 3 fresh cards, popping cards as well. I did not want to play 3 Mr. Crowley because I just didn't want to draw into multiples. If I draw 1, I'm fine with the 1. And of course the 3 Handy Mannies. The Princess Katana, hiya! She's really good whether you attribute her for Herald or for the summon of your Terra Trade. Terra Trade is pretty awesome too. She's like Book of Moon on steroids. And she's really powerful in my Shadal build as well. And then for the spells, we play 3 copies of Pre-Preparation of Rites, the best spell in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 copies of the original prep. Konami should have gave us 3. And then we also play, let's move these over here and just keep the preps next to each other. We also play 3 copies of my Optimus Primes. This is just way too Mando at 3 because you're actually playing multiple field spells. And if you draw 1 field spell, it's always nice to have the second copy of it in the form of Terra Trade. Meaning if you have Ritual Sanctuary, you can draw a Magical Meltdown. And it's always nice to play Meltdown first and then slap Ritual Sanctuary on top of it to load your grave with spells. And at the same time, you get to search your Invocation, and then you get to just make a play with Ritual Sanctuary because your grave is loaded with so many spells. And then there's also that thing where, you know, your opponent chains Dimensional Barrier, or the Infernoids banish your Alistair as a target for Invocation, and Ritual Sanctuary can actually recycle any spell, so you can always put your Invocation back into your deck if you can't use it, your Invocation's actual effect to do so. So the deck has a lot of synergy, and I do like that a lot. It's really powerful for a lot of different reasons, but 3 Terraforming, which I call Optimus Prime, was absolutely mandatory. I saw it as a staple, 3 of, like, nonetheless. Then we played 2 copies of the Juice and Berries. Well, the sauce. I call this the sauce in the preps for Juice and Berry. I didn't want to maximize on 3 because I am only playing 1 Invocation. Granted, almost every single time I resolve Desires, I'll always search my Invocation first. And if I can't, then I really basically evaluate my game state and consider this. If I lose my Invoked plays, can I still make plays? And the answer is yes, because you still play Herald of Perfection. That's what this deck is. It's still a Herald deck. You're just playing the Invoke engine to increase your ceiling, and that's really what it's about. Then we played 3 copies of Las Vegas. This is a lot more important than Meltdown because this actually prolongs your game state and allows you to cycle through your deck continuously. You actually have more targets because you search Terra Trade and Prediction Ritual now. And it also reloads every single pre-prep target. It reloads your actual, the Manju targets. Like, it basically puts all your ritual spells back so that you can keep resolving your searches. And it's infamous for reviving Herald of Perfection from grave by recycling 6 spells. You can revive Star Seraph Scepter to do the stick chair combo the hard way. It's just really broken. I love it. It's arguably the best field spell in the game in my opinion. Just because it's so freaking durable, and it just recycles Raigeki, Soul Charge, like so many powerful 1-up spells. We played 2 Magical Meltdown and not 3 because it is a hard once per turn, and Invoked is not that important in this deck. It's just nice to have. Then we played 3 Dons. 1 Prediction Ritual. In addition to that, also play 1 copy of Invocation to sum up the spells. 1 Invocation was totally fine. You don't have to worry about losing it to Galaxy Cyclone because Herald can negate anything. And he basically, you want to summon Herald of Perfection first and then make any other plays that you see are mandatory, because with Herald on board, he protects everything. So he kind of guarantees your field presence as well. Then for the extra deck, we played 2 copies of Calamaties. True King of all Calamities is way too easy to make in this deck, with Mechaba and Terra Trade both being level 9s that are really easy to summon. And we played 3 copies of Mechaba, basically the only Invoke you can go into on your own. You can also banish cards from your extra deck like Tornado Dragon, and you can banish Calamities to go into, like, you know, other Invoke fusions. But the other Invoke fusions I chose aside from Mechaba were Raijin and Purgatrio. Dolan Lockbird is a thing, and Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring is a thing, so those hand traps will give me new fusions. In addition to that, if I ever want to summon Raijin on my own, I have, you know, like I said, Tornado Dragon. This is because Ash is always going to be a thing no matter what format we're in, and it allows you to OTK the crap out of your opponent. And with Herald of Perfection on board, it guarantees that he's going to resolve every single attack without worrying about mirror forces or anything like that. And that's going to sum up the basically boss monsters. But the main point really is to go into these guys. It's either Herald and Mechaba or Herald and Calamities, like I said. And if you can make Herald with Calamities, you don't have to use that many fairies in your hand because Calamities turns off everything that you would be worried about. So at that point, Herald is just going to be negating your spells and your traps because Calamities deals with the monsters. So it allows you to maximize on every single play and also reserve your resources for more vital plays for yourself if you're trying to push for game. So I like it a lot. I feel like that board is way too strong. Just Herald and Calamities alone, those two boss monsters are arguably the best boss monsters in the game. No monster effects, no attacking, nothing. Whether it's extra deck, grave, hand, it doesn't matter where your monsters are at. They're in your possession. You can't use their effects at all. It doesn't negate. It just says they can't activate. And then Herald is like, I'm going to deal with the rest. I'm just going to clean up, you know. It's really, really strong. So the 5 boss monsters, 1 Lightning, 1 Utopia, 1 Diamond, 1 Deltaros, 1 Ouroboros, 1 Baguska. Because sometimes if you can't make Calamities, Baguska is a lot more accessible. Tornado Dragon and Abyss Dweller. One thing I like about this deck a lot is that the monsters it makes are so threatening that if your opponent can't deal with them within the first turn, you'll be able to kill your opponent right away. It's really strong. I'm going to show you exactly how you can make your Herald and Calamities. It's not like a 2 or 3 card combo. You actually have to open up correctly. So basically, let's say, for example, you open up with Terraforming, pre-prep, and let's say you open up with Dawn and Herald. At that point, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to, and I believe I'm doing this correctly, and these are all at 3, and a lot of them are actually searchable. You're going to Terraforming into your ritual, not your ritual, I'm sorry, into your Magical Meltdown, activate it, search for Alistair. Where's Alistair at? You'll normal summon your Alistair, search for Invocation. You'll activate your, okay, that was the missing card. Whoops, my bad. Ben 10's supposed to be in there. So I'm going to take it back and show you. It's like I said, it's not a 2 or 3 card combo. It's nothing simple. It's actually a magnificent board that requires for you to open up with your 3-ofs, which will basically be like this. If we take this back, you'll have pre-prep, Terraforming, and these cards. And the cool thing with these cards is there's a lot of other ways to get to them. So if you open up with any cards that equal them, you basically still got the combo. So you're going to go Terraforming, Magical Meltdown, like I said, Alistair, Invocation. Then you're going to activate your pre-prep, and you're searching for Terra Tray and her ritual. Well, her ritual first, and then Terra Tray. Then you will activate your Dawn, and you're going to summon your Herald. You're going to banish Dawn, add Ben 10 back to hand, and then you're going to search for a second copy of Ben 10, I believe. Or no, we're searching for an Honest. Yes, okay, we're going to search for... No, we're going to search for Honest anyways. So we're searching for a second copy of Ben 10. If I'm not mistaken, yes, we're doing this correctly. And then we're going to go ahead and activate Prediction Ritual. We're going to tribute both our Ben 10s, and we're going to summon Terra Tray. And Ben 10s both trigger, and you're going to search for Star Seraph Scepter and Star Seraph Sovereignty, obviously. This is going to make sure that if your opponent can't deal with the Calamities, you're going to have really, really broken fairies for your negation plays. Then we are going to go ahead and activate Invocation. We're going to banish 1 Ben 10 and Alistair from the field. We're going to bring out Mechaba, overlay Terra Train Mechaba, 2 level 9 monsters into your Calamities. Invocation will go back to the deck. Alistair go back to your hand. So you end with 3 cards in hand. And the most important thing is you have Herald and Calamities. So at bare minimum, if you want to just negate whatever your opponent has, if you think like you just want to be a dick and just negate just because you can do that because you have Alistair next turn and whatever you draw. And this alone is actually 4,800 damage, which is really nice. And it's a powerful board. It was just something I want to showcase to you guys. Like I said, it's not a simple 2 or 3 card combo, but I did want to show you that it's actually possible to summon Herald and Calamities in your first turn. It's just not, like I said, a 2 or 3 card combo. But it's so easy to do so because of how consistent the deck is, how everything's at 3, it's searchable, and you have a lot of draw power. So let me know what you guys think of this variation of Herald. It's quite different and unique in comparison to the pure variation, which is, in my opinion, a lot more consistent just because you don't have situational hands. But this is totally worth it because you have the addition of the 1 card combo, which makes up for a lot of what you could say are consistency issues. God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Be sure to check out our other content. This channel is definitely moving into a different dimension in terms of where our content is headed and how we're going to do things a lot more versatile. And we're trying to stick to the originality that we've always kept, you know, the innovation for all of our decks. I'm making just some really different stuff, trying not to do anything standard. I'm trying our hardest to stay away from meta. We only do meta when people ask to see it. And we're also trying to, you know, if we do a deck that's already been done, what we like to do is try to tech it out to the max to make the build look like us. Like basically what looks like Team King of Games. Like if you see a deck, you'll know it's Team King of Games because you'll be like, okay, why the heck is this guy running this card? Why the heck is he running this card? And how does this work? And we'll answer the questions for you. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for future content. I'm out.